Martha came from off the farm, ran right up, jumped in my arms. I said, you're coming home with me today. Martha, you're the sweetest girl an angel sent down to this world. I love you more than words could ever say. Every day's a new beginning. Life is just a game you're winning. Every time you look, an open door. So run right out, chase the sunlight. Nothing left to do but do right. Martha, you're the one my heart beats for. Martha, my darling, your name I keep calling.
So, what are you doing, Tomas? Are you doing inspection for the chair?
Vadå?
Yes.
Ja, det är liksom värtvis.
I slutändan är det ju också middag och sen är det Facebook.
You can relax and eat. Eat beautiful.
Eat beautiful.
Drink beautiful.
Delicious.
Good coffee?
Yes, very good, very nice.
Now it's really fall and you can really feel that it start getting chilly. This time I'm out with my brother Tomas and with a friend Volker and with a nephew Alvar and Annie and Johnny, the border collies, of course. We are out paddling and we have a lot of food with us. We have a lot of gear and a huge tent and a hot tent with a stove inside. We are heading upstream to a small river and we are fishing a little bit, but this was not our original plan. Original plan was to go to another place, but there was too much hunters there and it was very windy, so we just took another area. Anyway, it started getting chilly, so I'm really happy that we took a tent with a stove. My name is Matti. I'm working as a dog musher nature guide up in northern Sweden. Together with my partner Stina, I run a small lifestyle company, and outdoor life is actually what we're doing for a living. But it's also a big part of our free time. Yeah, it's our life more or less. So this time it's just a holiday trip and I will try to film a little bit for you guys so you can see what I'm doing on my holiday.
Come and wake me every night. You say you missed the concept of you and I, you and I. You come and wake me every night. You say you missed the concept of you and I. Catch my head in the earthquake, collect my spine when my disc breaks, when my disc breaks.
Om vi drar upp in till höger där kanske Volker kommer in emellan.
Give me
Bara för att du sa det.
Vad gör du?
Ja, men det går bra.
So now we have found a very nice camp spot close to the river and we have prepared the camp. The tent is up, we have firewood to the stove and we had also some tea before we was ready for fishing again. Now we're out here with the canoes fishing a little bit and yeah, we just want to catch some perch or some pikes just to, yeah, it's fun. but it's also really nice to just hanging around in the canoe and look at the nature and so on. Very calm, very nice, but I feel it's really chilly and soon we had to have dinner and maybe we should go indoors to the tent and cook. I don't know, we will see. Tomas flipped the canoe in the river and now we had to help him. A little bit of a hurry. Tappar du glasögonen? Alvar, gör eld i kaminen. Ja. Hur är det, Tomas? Går det bra? Men du, vart är spöet? Är fiskespöet kvar i kanoten? Det är något som flyter bakom dig. Va? Jag kan fara och ta och hämta dem.
Ska jag ta hand om honom?
Ja.
Då tar du hand om
Ja. And now the canoe. Alltså, det här händer inte, Tomas. It goes quickly from just a nice sitting in the canoe until it's serious and you had to swim.
Det tar vi hand om sen.
Bra, Alvar! Men jag har Foppa också.
Ja, jo, men det är det jag menar.
Ja. Nu ska vi se. Absolut. Very good. Oi, it's raining. Very good. Very nice.
This is very, very nice.
The question is, how will this work?
Into the mouth. That's the hole under the nose. Look beautiful now.
Oh, very good. Very, very good.
Ja, nu är den arg, bra. Alltså säkert den är skärpt.
Filmar du, Alvar?
Ja.
Oj! Ser du på ryggen?
Jo.
Den är inte frisk, va? Den är inte frisk, ser du?
Den ser lite sliten ut.
Ja, den ser inte alls någon fighter.
Nej, ingenting.
Men ser du inte det där?
Ja, den kämpar ju inte alls. Det är ju lite ovanligt.
Det där är inte alls bra.
Nej, vi har ihjäl den, tycker jag.
Ja.
Den kämpar ju ingenting.
Nej. Den där
ska kämpa hårt.
Ja, men den är ju ändå, har ju en ganska byta upp den och så har jag sådär.
Kolla på ryggen där.
Titta, visa YouTube också.
Nej.
Ja. Den är inte frisk.
Nej.
Normally we don't take up this fish, but as you see, this have some really issue here back on the back, so we will actually finish the life of this pike. One reason is this one will not survive anyway, and it's really weak, and the other reason is that if there is something that can go to next fish, we don't want him to spread it to other ones. So now we cut the murder part of this video. See you later. This was a really adventurous day. Tomas flipped with the canoe and lost his fishing rod. Sad, but we maybe find it tomorrow when it's more light. We tried already with the headlamps, but we couldn't see it. When you flip with the canoe like this and come underwater, one thing that you should remember to actually keep an eye at afterwards, Volker remind me about that now, and that is if you have inhalated water, you can get pneumonia. So you should be aware if you have been underwater. You should be aware if you start coughing or if you start feeling ill. Then you should go to the hospital and check your lungs, because then you can have catched what you call chemical pneumonia when you inhalated water. Normally it's not an issue really. So as you see, it's a lot of moisture when I breathe out and when I'm talking, and when I'm looking here at the canoe, it is frost. So it is below 0 Celsius. Maybe 1 degree below, 2-3 degrees below 0. It is a little bit chilly out here, but I'm so happy we have the hot tent with the stove. It's really make difference if you have heat source in your tent. So now we are preparing the tents and having a coffee, and yeah, it's dark, almost full moon but dark, and time for going to bed. I think we all will sleep really well. Tomas have dry clothes now also. He had a lot of dry stuff with him and he borrowed some from us. So if you're out here alone canoeing, we've talked about that. If you're out here alone, you should be thinking about and be aware what happened if I flip my canoe if you're alone. Just recently, a couple of days ago, one German guide died when he was out with a group 200 kilometers south of Jokkmokk. I just read the news and it seems like he was someone in his group flipped the canoe or something, so he went out again alone with the canoe and was planning to pick up the gear that they had lost. And if you flip with the canoe out there, even if you have a life jacket and all that, the water is cold and you should be careful, you should be aware, because outdoor life is sometimes really lovely, but it is just a small mistake, a small change in weather, whatever, and then the situation is suddenly really, really difficult. Now, some tea, and yeah, we're lying a lot up there in the tent, so some tea and some more lice, and then maybe some chocolate and go to bed. Here, look, see the crystals, look. Frost, the winter is coming. So it's a new day today, and it's so beautiful. It had been really cold and frosty night. My sleeping bag was probably just on the limit, so I have been a little bit cold sometimes, but not the whole night. I would guess -5 Celsius below zero, and Tomas and Volker had a little bit more chilly because their sleeping bag was colder or less warm. Alvar is still sleeping in his warm winter sleeping bag, so I don't know. Anyway, we made fire in the stove, and it's really lovely when you have the fire going on in the stove, because it gets really nice and warm and cozy inside the tent. Things start drying out, and you get rid of the moisture on all your equipment. Really lovely. Now it's time for coffee, and we will see. Tomas' clothes, we have dried the clothes that we need, but we have still hanged some clothes outside the tent. I will show you. This is, look, ice. Woohoo! It's really, and the socks are also kind of, that's Tomas' socks, and even the underwear. Tomas, your t-shirt. Var det gott?
Jo.
Dry?
Yes, no.
Wet?
Yes, it's wet.
So now Volker is catching a fish. What kind of fish is it, Volker? Is it the yed?
Yep. Nej,
What are you doing? Yeah, Volker had the fish, but he didn't catch it, so I think I'll go and have a cup of coffee again. Now we have been sitting outside the tent and have coffee, and Alvar and Volker have been fishing and so on. And now we're moving 25 meters because now we're going to have lunch. So 25 meters before lunch today. Here we have the campfire, and we're going to barbecue sausage.
Okay.
Yeah. Har du WhatsApp?
Ja.
Ja, men skriv till Volker på WhatsApp.
försiktigt. Bra. Ja.
So during this tour we have learned a lot of things. Normally you learn a lot of things on tours like this. Both me and my brother have been out a lot alone in the nature, a lot with canoes. Tomas was out really much back in old days with a canoe just alone. I've done the same, and I still do the same. And when you falling into the water like Tomas did yesterday, you start thinking what have happened if that happened to you in middle of the lake when you cross a lake. Usually both me and my brother are really careful. We really are thinking what happened if something goes wrong. But when you go out here, you should be serious. Where is your dry clothes? Are they waterproof packed? How do I do if I fall into the water? How do I bring my gear back to the land? How can I manage to change clothes, make fire, all that stuff before you get cold? This time we was lucky. So when Tomas entered the land, Alvar more or less made fire directly in the stove. Volker helped Tomas to get dry clothes and a towel to dry himself. And I brought the canoe and all that stuff back into land. So everything was just tick, 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 tick. And Volker is also working as an ambulance nurse, so he asks the questions like, do you feel water in your lungs? Have you inhaled water when you was under the water? And all that things. Because if you inhalate water, there is always a tiny risk that you could get pneumonia. I talked about that before. And then you really had to be aware if you get higher temperature, if you feel this illness feeling in your body, or if you start coughing a lot or getting problem to breathe, because then you should get help from a doctor. You need to go into the hospital and check it. Tomas was just fine. He was coughing a little bit yesterday and then he was fine because the body can usually handle a lot of things by itself. Now I packed up the canoes and pulled the camp and all that things. We had lunch here on the shore and we heading back to the car. Super big thanks for watching this video, and I hope that you also learn something from this video. When things happen, you learn a lot. And thanks to Alvar, Volker and Tomas for following on this tour. I think it was really nice, and I think we should give a special thank you to Tomas for helping us to create this content. So if you think Tomas made a good job for helping me, leave a comment down below to Tomas and Volker and Alvar, who actually solved this problem really well. And have a nice time. See you later. Ciao.